loves, or welcome to our first vlog of 2025. It's a little crazy that it's March and I'm only doing my first vlog now, but it is what it is, and we're gonna start today. Something I'm really trying to do this year is I'm not waiting for the start of the week or the start of a month or even the start of the year to start something that I want to do. I think we as people can very much do that from time to time. You know, you want to start waking up early and you're like, I'll start on Monday. If that's something I want to do, I'm gonna do it today. So that's just a little bit of what my energy is like this year. But yeah, welcome back to the vlogs. I really want to start making this a weekly thing, and that's going to be the goal, and we're going to try our hardest to make that happen. Today, I'm just going to kind of take you through a day. It's Thursday, it's around 10 a.m. I worked out this morning, did some yoga, then I actually did some work, talked to my parents. I'm working on a recipe right now, and that's kind of happening at the same time in the kitchen. And I quickly showered, got dressed for the day, and we're just gonna kind of start our day. Cinnamon says hi. Just little munchkin is my little follower. I was just telling Colin this morning, I'm so grateful we got a dog. Like, working at home and working for yourself, I'm learning can be a little bit lonely. Actually, more than a little bit. It can be very lonely at times, especially because I think I'm such an introvert as well. That it's definitely something I'm struggling with and something I'm working on, but having a little BFF that just kind of spends the whole day with me and follows me everywhere, and honestly having something that like requires that I go out, I take her out to pee and do all of that, take her on walks, it really helps like so much. And look at that face, how could you not be in love with that face? But that being said, today I just want to take you guys through a day. I want to talk a little bit about immigration, like where we are at in our application, which is nowhere exciting, but we're just kind of in the waiting period right now. Our principal in approval a few weeks ago, like we each got it, like Colin got his and I got mine. His as like the sponsor, mine as like the principal applicant. And from what we understand, it can be a few months until we kind of hear about next steps. From my understanding, next steps now are like the processing of your background check and things like that. So yeah, we're waiting, and I think it's so interesting. The closer we get to actually getting an answer on this application, I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to feel when I actually get it. And like, is it happiness? Is it excitement? Like, what is it going to be? And it's most definitely going to be all of those things. But there's definitely a little bit of fear as well. And I'm being super honest and vulnerable in saying this, because I really want to emphasize that I understand that it is such a privilege to even be at this point in the journey. But I also want to be transparent about, you know, the reality of the feelings, and that it's okay to be grateful, but also be a little hesitant and a little scared. I think for me, it's a little bit of like, what comes next, like after this? Like, this has been the big thing I've been working towards for so long. And then you get it and you're like, now what, you know? So that's just kind of a little bit about what I'm dealing with at the moment when it comes to immigration. And I think right now with work, if you've watched some of my other videos, I quit my job last year and I've been working for myself ever since. What I'm finding with working for myself is there's lots of ups and downs. Like, there are times when I am so incredibly busy, business is going so well, and then every once in a while there's a slow period, and it's interesting dealing with that slow period. And I'm an anxious person. That's not something I'm ever gonna try to hide from the world. I struggle with anxiety, and I can get very negative, I can get very down on myself, and like that topped with like, you know, when I'm feeling down, it's really easy for me to spiral about immigration and be like, it's never working out, or when is it gonna work out? So it's been a lot of that lately, and a lot of just trying to regulate myself. I am seeing a counselor at the moment, not every week. We do like bi-weekly. Sometimes, honestly, we've started every 3 weeks now. I've been seeing a counselor since December, and that's helped a lot. And I'm really just working on like reframing all my negative thoughts and all my negative beliefs into something that actually works for me instead of something that's working against me. But that's kind of what's happening. But we're gonna go get started on the rest of our day. Like I said, we're filming, honestly, lots and lots of filming today, so you guys will get to see some of the behind the scenes of that, and then a few other things. Let's go. Alright friends, we have filmed 2 items, actually like 1.5, but we're almost done with the second. I have 2 more things. I basically have to do my Friday nights in recipe, and this week's cocktail is so great. If you don't know what Friday nights in is, it's a series I do on my Instagram where every Friday night I do like a small plate or a large plate with a mocktail or a cocktail. We're kind of in our mocktail era right now, so that's what we're sticking with. But I've got that to film. This week's recipe is... it's for the single girls. It's for the girls spending a night in alone. This has been highly requested, so we're finally doing it. But I wanted to show you something, and that is the state of my kitchen. Filming food content is not always... the behind the scenes are not aesthetic. Honestly, I think filming most kinds of content, the behind the scenes are never aesthetic. I actually need to clean up a little bit before I can film the other 2 recipes, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Our dishwasher is kind of not working, which is, it's like working, but sometimes it's not working, if that makes sense. But it's kind of annoying, so I'm gonna try to put like a light load in, and hopefully it does that light load. Otherwise I'm gonna have to hand wash everything, which is not fantastic. It's not the end of the world, but it's not fantastic. So that's what we're gonna do. Then we're gonna do a little bit more filming, and then I actually need to practice a presentation that I'm giving at an event on Sunday, so I'm gonna practice that. And then I need to start editing, tons and tons of editing. Also, it has started snowing outside. Let me show you guys, which I think is, we're not happy about this. Like, oh, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that in the camera, but it's snowing. It's not too heavy right now, and it's kind of sticking, like not completely, but a little, and I don't know how I feel about that. I am so done with snow. We've gotten so much snow in Toronto this year. It's kind of insane to me. But I'm ready for spring. I'm so ready for spring, ready to be done with the sweaters, done with the boots, done with the jackets, long walks with the dog. Like, that's what I'm manifesting. But you know what? Something I like about snow is when it is snowing, I don't think you guys can see that, it kind of feels like you're in a snow globe. So I'm gonna romanticize that for the rest of today, with my fingers crossed that this is hopefully the last snow. Hello there. This is me enjoying my Sleepy Girl mocktail recipe for this week. It's a tart cherry sour. It's actually delicious. It's made with the juice, or not juice, but the water that we have like in a can of chickpeas, if that makes sense. It sounds weird, I know, but it tastes absolutely delicious, and that's what kind of gives you that froth on top that makes the sour. Anyway, if you want the recipe, I'm gonna link it down below. I have been in the kitchen for the last about 3 hours. I am tired. The kitchen is a mess right now still. I feel like I filmed, I cleaned, and then I filmed some more, and now it is a mess again, so I've got to go back and clean. But I really just wanted to sit down at my desk for a second, enjoy my little mocktail, and practice my presentation that I was talking about that I need to do. So I'm going to do that and then head back, clean the kitchen, and then I do think I'm going to go out and run my errands for the day, come back, and then edit. I think Colin might make dinner today because I might be editing pretty late into the evening. It's been a day. It's been a day. It's really interesting working for myself and like kind of like doing what I do right now. It's just, I have so much freedom that I could spend my day any which way I want. I also have a lot of work and a lot of things that I want to do in a day, more things than I could possibly do in a day. And finding that balance of, I think I'm someone who pushes myself a lot, and I push myself really hard, and giving myself time to take breaks and to like do things that I enjoy, and realize that, you know, I've chosen this path of wanting to work for myself because I want to be happy, and I believe this is what makes me happy. But part of that is also not work like every single day forever. It's just taking time for myself, doing the things that I love, and being kind to myself. And that's, I think, something I'm learning. It is not something I'm very good at naturally. It's something I have to be very conscious about. But yeah, just little thoughts. I'm gonna get back to little computer work, practice my presentation, and then clean. Hello friends, I am home. I ran all of my errands. I'm pretty proud of myself for getting almost everything done. There was only one thing that I needed to do, which was like a tax thing, but Colin's gonna do it for me on the way home, which is perfect. I can't believe it's 5. I feel like I did a lot today, but I also have a lot more left to do, which is kind of, I'm learning the way working for yourself goes. I think what I am gonna do is I'm waiting for Colin to come home because he left his keys at home today. I don't know how he walked out of the house without them. So I need to go let him in, take Cinnamon out for a short walk and a little pee, let her do her business. And then we're gonna come in, we're gonna work out. I wanna get some cardio in, like interval training. I'm gonna do that, shower, make dinner, and then I need to edit. I have at least one thing that I have to edit today, 2 things that I would like to edit, so let's see how far we go. I also wanna be in bed by 9, asleep by 10. That's the goal. Is it possible? I think so. I think I could do it if I was like super on point and maybe got some help from Colin. I think I could. Hello friends, it is 9 p.m. and I just sat down with a cup of tea, and I actually can't believe I got everything that I like absolutely had to get done today done. There was seriously a time like right before I worked out, I wasn't sure I'd actually be able to make dinner, edit, get all of that done, cleaned up, and I did. One of the things I think I've really struggled with working for myself is I am someone in general, even not working for myself, I'm someone who like really pushes myself really hard. And something I'm learning with working for yourself is there's always things to do, and things, you know, a lot of it fall on you to do. And something I've really been trying to practice is when I start to feel overwhelmed by the length of my to-do list and like overwhelmed by how I'm gonna get all the things I need to get done, is instead of thinking about the big picture and the big list of things, I try to remind myself to focus on the next thing, to stay present and do what I'm doing in this moment. And honestly, I think that's how I got through all the things I needed to do today, is anytime the panic or anxiety started to build, I took a breath and said, Vanessa, you're the boss, because I quite literally am, and you just have to do the next thing, and that's just how we're gonna live our life, or that's how we're gonna live this day. I find when I let myself get overwhelmed, I will waste a lot of time being overwhelmed, being anxious. And then it obviously becomes harder and harder for me to actually get through my to-do list and to actually do the things that I need to do. I'm not an expert. I'm not like, I can't flawlessly do this practice, but it is something I'm really consciously working on doing. And honestly, just sitting here with my cup of tea and realizing that it was 9 p.m., which was exactly the time I wanted to wind down, was just, it felt good. It felt good. Like, and I have more things that I could do. I always do, but I also want to relax. I'm exhausted. I've got a bit of a headache. My body is tired. I did 2 workouts today. I did an hour of yoga in the morning plus like 45 minutes of cardio, and I'm pretty proud of myself for doing it, but I am also exhausted. So yeah, just gonna sip on my tea, watch a little bit of Monk, which is my current obsession, but that's my plan for tonight. I just wanted to come on here and say good night. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and we will be back soon with another one.